NetGalley sent me an e-arc of Ann Leckie's Radiant Star because they still think I'm a legitimate book reviewer.
Well, Grandpa, our videos do get dozens of views.
Well, yeah, let's hope NetGalley is impressed by that as much as we are. My name is Brett, and this is The Beast Reads. Radiant Star by Ann Leckie, published by Orbit on May 12, 2026, is the latest standalone in Leckie's Ratch universe. You don't have to have read any of the others, but it would help if you were familiar with Leckie's works. Radiant Star is set in the city of Oia on A during the Ratch Civil War. A is a sunless rogue planet where the people live underground. The planet has been annexed by the Ratch Empire, and a Ratch governor is in charge with a small staff and the support of the warship Justice of Albus and its crew of ancillaries. The book starts slow as Leckie introduces us to a large cast of characters: the governor, some of the high society citizens, two more or less friendly rival religious leaders, and the governor's cousin. The Civil War has disrupted the much-needed supply chain to the planet. The governor has to deal with food shortages, civilian unrest, and three religious sects vying for political power. The first half of the book is slow-paced as we get to know the mostly unlikable point-of-view characters. The book is written in the authorial intrusion or direct address style. I had to look that up. I don't have a fancy lit degree. I really like the narrator talking to the reader. It gives it a nice, friendly, comfy feel. At 52% of the book, the narrator says, a lot of things happened all at once. The action really picked up after that. By this point, several of the characters had grown on me. The unlikable characters were still unlikable, but I think they were supposed to be. One of the things that happened was the water supply got contaminated. This made the story feel real to me because my son works at the city water treatment plant.
Wait, you're talking about Dad in a book review?
Yeah, that part made me think about him and how he would solve the problem. All of the point-of-view threads started to come together, and we get a logical, satisfying conclusion. I look forward to more Ratch novels to see how the events in Radiant Star tie into the larger universe. It is a Leckie book, so you have to be prepared for lots of pronouns. He, she, they, C, E, per, V, Z, Z. Only a problem if you try to visualize whether a character would be played by Sydney Sweeney, Sigourney Weaver, Brad Pitt, or, me. I've been lucky enough to meet Ann Leckie a couple of times.
Cough, cough. Bragging.
Well, no, yeah, but I just mentioned it to let the viewers know that I might be a little biased. When Leckie talks about her influences, she almost always mentions C.J. Cherryh and Andre Norton, two of my favorite authors. I see the similarities in writing styles. Cherryh and Norton tend to write complex sentences, and in Radiant Star I noticed a difficult paragraph that I had to reread. It had a sentence with 11 commas. A little excessive, but I just smiled and thought, good one, Ann. I grew up reading Cherryh and Norton too. Another writing quirk Leckie has is her lack of consonants in the names for places and people. I never got comfortable reading the name of the city, Oio, and the name of the planet was easier once I figured out how would Fonzie pronounce it. Yay! One character I want to know more about is Isanu Barrett, usually referred to as the governor's cousin. Her story weaves through the book. She's only referred to by name 2 times. She arrives on A in the first chapter and suffering from PTSD and the loss of an arm. As her arm regrows, she plays an important part in the plot. But I want to know more about her backstory. Did she lose the arm in the Civil War fighting for Andermiene against Andermiene, or in some mundane kitchen accident slicing onions? She feels like a character Leckie will use again. In conclusion, slow start, hard to pronounce words, and lots of commas, but a very good story that ties into the larger Ratch universe. Do I recommend Radiant Star? Yes, but it's probably easier if you've read Leckie's other works. Not a bad thing. It gives you 5 other excellent books to read. I want to thank NetGalley, Orbit Books, and Ann Leckie for sending me the e-arc of Radiant Star. If you enjoyed listening to this honest and mostly unbiased review, give the video a like. It don't cost nothing. And remember, Styx is the greatest American rock band.